Hey, how's it going, everybody? This is just Chris back again with another video. Now, I know it's been quite some time since I've done a video, but I want to get back into this on kind of a normal, more normal basis. So today, over on Sony Alpha Rumors, and this is going to be kind of become more of a Sony channel, and I'm shooting on today on the A7C with the 18mm f2.8 from Samyang. Today on Sony Alpha Rumors, they said that Sony will announce 5 cameras in the next couple of months. 5 potential cameras over the next couple of months. That's now however many months that we're not completely sure on, but nevertheless, it's pretty awesome. 5 new cameras. What do I think they will be? Well, I think we gotta start out with the Sony A74 for one. I think it's got to be the A74, and I say that because my prediction personally is probably around April, you'll see the A74, and I say that because April 2018 was when the A73 came out, so 3 years after. Seems like a pretty good time to have that camera. I actually thought that camera was going to come out last year, but now my worry with this camera is it might be just, I look at the A7 lineup of cameras is that like kind of sweet spot of content creation, right? I'm shooting on the A7C today, and this is like that perfect content creator's camera. Now, what I like to see with the A7 III is something along the line, or sorry, the A7 IV is body style of the A7S Mark III for sure, but with not over the top specs. Yeah, I want 4K 60, but I don't. I look at content creation in this camera, and I'm like, I don't think there's any necessarily need for 422 10-bit. To be honest with you, I'm perfectly happy with 420 8-bit. I just would like to have the 4K 60. Today I'm shooting 4K 30, but it would be nice to have the 4K 60. And I'm really kind of aiming more at video stuff, just to kind of let you know that this is more of a video related thing. What is the second camera? I think you got to see something APS-C. I think it's time for the APS-C cameras now to have a flip-out screen, for one. I think it's time for the question is what is it going to be? Something totally new? Is it going to be an A6200 or an A6700? Now, I don't see the point in them coming out with an A6200 at this point, and I say that, and I've heard rumors that they're gonna replace that camera, but I don't see the point in having that camera out just yet, and here's why. This needs to be a major upgrade. I don't think coming out with the same old shit, pardon my French, is going to work anymore. Like, they're not going to be able to come out with the same camera, basically, with 420 8-bit video, 4K 30 max, the same autofocus system, basically. What would be the point in having that, to be honest with you? Or maybe the new upgraded color profiles. I don't see the point in that, personally. So I think that what you got to see here is a flip-out screen like this rather than the flip-up screen. I think you've got to see USB Type-C charging. I think that's kind of a big one for me. Like, to be honest with you, the reason I don't have a APS-C Sony camera right now is because it doesn't charge via USB Type-C. I know that's a stupid reason. I give you that, but I have a lot of different gadgets and stuff. I've got this camera here, which is the Panasonic S5. This is like my main camera. I have my A7C here. My DJI pocket cameras are all USB Type-C. My iPad is USB Type-C. Everything that I own is USB Type-C. So when I want to pull out a cable and charge something really quick, I have my USB Type-C cables, or everything is USB Type-C. So I think that potentially, if they're going to come out with an A6200, I think they got to come out with something more high end as well, because I think they're kind of defeating themselves in that way if they don't do something like that. I think you're going to see an RX100 camera, RX100, or maybe even both. A couple of years ago, I want to say it was the 5. 4 or the 5 is when they came out with the RX10 as well at the same time. So I could see an RX10 Mark 5, I think they're up to, would be up to, and an RX 100 Mark 8. But I think that to be honest with you, there's just no point in coming out with the same old camera at this point. Every camera now that's coming out has got 4K 60 at least. And I think that you've got to have that, right? So I think those are the other two cameras. I do. I think the four cameras we're looking at, a A74 for sure, two RX 100 cameras, and then something from the APS-C realm. And then the fifth camera, potentially, I would think, is either going to be a even further budget. It either has to be a high-end APS-C camera, like the A7000 that we were hearing rumors of over for the past few years, or it has to be like an A5, like a sub $1,000 full-frame camera. You know, some crops and stuff on there, like nothing that most people that some content creators would be interested in for sure. There's nothing against them, but that's what I think. Those are the five cameras. I think you're going to have the A74 for sure, some sort of APS-C camera, and it could be an A5300. That could be the run-of-the-mill, like a lower end, some sort of high-end APS-C camera, and then two RX cameras. Now they keep talking about this like curved sensor RX camera, you know, something like one of the RX ones. But I don't see an RX1 coming out. I really just don't see an RX1 at this point. I think that lineup is something that I think Sony probably wants to just kill off, and rightfully so, because you know the price on those things was really high. You know, you can't change the lenses in them. They're very niche-like cameras, but at the same time, like, you know, if you wanted an RX1, you know, why not make something like this, maybe with the higher megapixel count or something like that, like the A7C with a higher megapixel count. That way you can change the lenses, and there's so many different lenses you can choose from. And you know, there was rumors when this A7C came out that Sony is going to come out with some sort of like compact lens system almost for this camera, because the A7 compact makes kind of sense. But if you really think about it right now, like Sony's best lenses are all gigantic heavy lenses. Not necessarily heavy, but like, you know, like if you paired this with like the 24-70 f2.8, you know, it's a $300 lens, you know, it doesn't look you know, proportionate with this camera. Now I've got a cage on it, so maybe it looks a little bit better, but it doesn't necessarily look proportionate with the camera. So I think that it's going to be very front heavy for sure. So this is my thoughts right now. I mean, obviously these are just kind of my thoughts, but you know, everything can change. As more we find out about it, just stay tuned. I am going to start doing these videos a lot more often now. I'm going to get back into this channel. I've been kind of really fighting myself on this. So stay tuned, hit that subscribe button, and thank you all for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Later.